My name is Ken Westerman. I'm a broadcast engineer. I've been working in Seattle for about 20 years. And over the years, I've prepared a number of presentations, some on film history and some on television sciences. And I'm not quite sure what the audience is for this particular lecture, but I thought I would just go ahead and take a stab at giving part of the lecture and then put it online and then see if there's an audience that wants me to expand on it. So, with that, I will get started. it's it's always important for me to start off by saying that Marconi did not invent radio. Everybody always says Marconi invented radio. Wrong. Marconi patented radio. Radio was actually the concept of radio was actually invented by Nicholas Tesla in the 1890s, and he actually published it in a magazine of how radio would work. Tesla's vision of radio was remote control of robotic devices. His vision was, if you've ever seen Central Park, footage of Central Park, and people have the little remote control sailboats, they drive around with the remote control. That was a proof of concept of Tesla's vision. So that's been there since Nikola Tesla. And what Tesla saw in radio was the ability to control robotics remotely. And he actually tried to sell it to the military as robotic control for military applications. Marconi came along around 1910 and he saw an application where he could transmit signals out to sea and they could communicate with ships wirelessly. So Marconi took Tesla's design and repurposed it for intership communication. So people credit Marconi too much with the invention of radio. He did not invent radio. He stole the idea from Nikola Tesla. A lot of ideas were stolen from Nikola Tesla. Now Tesla postulated that it should be possible to transmit moving images across radio waves. However, he didn't quite know how to do that. And he died before anyone figured it out. Philo Farnsworth comes along around the 1920s. Excuse me. Philo Farnsworth came up with the idea in the 1920s that he could project an image through a radio transmission and activate a cathode ray tube and put the image on a tube. Unfortunately, his timing was a little off because by the time he had the idea together, the Great Depression hit. And so everything kind of got pushed back and he had to kind of wait. In the meantime, RCA, Westinghouse, and the company in England all expressed interest in what he was doing, but nobody was willing to jump on it because of the Depression. He debuted his system in the 1938 World's Fair, and the big thing there was people could actually see President Roosevelt on the little tube. And it was that World's Fair, 1938 World's Fair, that was the launching platform for Philo Farnsworth's vision. He was going to use that to ramp into production on television sets. Unfortunately, World War II broke out, and he was also held up by a lawsuit by RCA. And so he had to wait until World War II was done. When World War II was done, unfortunately, when World War II was done, the idea had been around for a good 10, 15 years now, and other people had come along and kind of copied his idea. And he had a problem, particularly with RCA. There was an engineer at RCA that Farnsworth had worked with who had taken Farnsworth's idea and claimed it was his own. And so there was a patent lawsuit that went on for 20 years. After World War II, Farnsworth thought, okay, now it's time. Unfortunately, his idea had been around for 10 or 15 years. Other people had come in and Skyped it, and they had kind of made it their own vision. And Philo Farnsworth spent the next 20 to 30 years fighting patent law, going in and out of court, fighting for his patent for his invention. But unfortunately, he didn't quite get what he was due